Hey everybody, it's your girl Tennessee North. Yeah, you know, I'm here with a video. But this video is something simple. I'm kind of pulled back from the real heavy meals. Not too far back. But today it's going to be another one of those simple videos. Um, I was watching a old school soul food a couple of days ago, and he was talking about a hamburger and that his mom used to make. Well, I had a story about some burgers, and I said, wow, he's cooking a burger too. Hey, we all can eat burgers. So, but this has nothing to do with his, but I was going to tell you a story about some burgers that was in my childhood. I know I had talked about walking to town with my mom and, my siblings, and looked like everybody was walking to town to pay bills, and that's where you met all your friends because everybody was walking. Well, when we would walk to town, on the way back, we used to stop at a little cafe. For the younger generation, a cafe was like it was a restaurant, so to speak, and you go in there, and all your friends and a lot of high schoolers used to hang there back in the 60s. And it was you could get that greasy burger, fries, and that little 6-ounce Coke, and I think they even sold beer in there. But back then, kids could be in a place where they sold beer. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but if you're from my era, from the late 60s, 70s, you know what I'm talking about. And this particular place brought back some fond memories. This was another reason why we look forward to going to town, walking to town, because on the way back, we would stop at this cafe. It was everybody used to call it 6th Street, going down to 6th Street, and the cafe name was Landers Cafe. So if you're from Clarksville and around my era, you know where I'm talking about. Everybody hung there. So it kind of made me think of, too, in the Wilma Rudolph movie, they featured Landers Cafe in there. And but I don't know if some of y'all have heard, Wilma Rudolph was my next door neighbor. And I grew up with her kids. And my mom and her grew up together. Wilma grew up together. But it's a funny thing, when I was a kid, I didn't realize Wilma was famous. She was just Wilma. And so yeah. So Wilma being a kid back when my mom was a kid, that's where their hangout was, Landers Cafe down in 6th Street. And another thing came to mind. I went to an all-black elementary school up until the 5th grade. That's where all the blacks went. And there wasn't nothing wrong with it. I loved that school. And so everybody went to that school. My mom went to that school. They didn't have no choice because that was the only black school. And then we had a historical high school. It was called Burt High School. And a lot of well-known people came out of Burt. And Wilma being one. A lot of basketball players. Yeah. That was only high school for blacks, so you had to go there. So yeah, so we all this is saying is about this little cafe. And hold on. So the reason for the video is I'm making burgers, and what came in mind as a child was that walk home from paying bills, we stopped at that little cafe. And those were the best greasy hamburgers I've ever had in my life. They used to toast the bun, and the top of the bun and the bottom bun be greasy. Oh, but Lord have mercy. That, our treat was that stop and get that burger and get that little 6-ounce Coke and maybe some fries to share. And I think the burger was like 10 cents. Yeah. I think a whole meal would probably 50 cents maybe. Because the 6-ounce Coke was probably, I don't know, 15 cents, if that much. And the burger, I remember the burgers being 10 cents. That stuck in my head. Those 10 cents burgers, but they was delicious. And this place was famous because every time we had a parade, you break your neck trying to get down to 6th Street, right there in front of that cafe. Because a lot of historical schools that would be in the parade, that's where they cut up. That's where they showed out. If you're from Tennessee, Pearl Cone, it was a famous, pretty well-known black school, and they had an awesome band. Burt, being one, was pretty famous, had an awesome band. Tennessee State would be come down and get in there, and they had an awesome band. And if you want to see a show, you get to 6th Street. Everybody tried to get to 6th Street. If you were black, that's was well known to go to 6th Street because that's where that's where they cut up, put on a show. And so this little cafe had a lot of meaning. Yeah. And they used to play the best music. Oh. See, I came up with the Supremes, Four Tops, Temptations, then progressed on up to, we had James Brown, and as time progressed on up, the OJs and just, on up. The Betty Wrights, and so you hear all the ladies' music. They had a what do you call those? A jukebox. Put your money in there and play the music, and you heard all that down there. And so when we would go to town, we knew we were going down to 6th Street. Yeah. Down at Landers Cafe. Yeah. So tonight I'm making some of those burgers. Yeah. It's about a burger. A simple burger. That simple burger bring back some memories for me. Oh my goodness. They had a wall down there because there used to be another school right up from that, and it was a brick wall there. And when the parade was coming, you'd sit along those walls, and people get their chairs out and can wait for those black school bands to play. Yeah. Yeah. My church that I went to was on the block right over from it. And if it was a parade on Sunday, we couldn't wait to get out of church. Because we're going right over next street to 6th Street. In front of Landers Cafe. Yeah. Those were some memories. The greasy burger. The Coke. Sixth Street. That's this video about. 6th Street, and some greasy burgers. Landers Cafe. Yeah. See, I came up, this is my time to walking to the downtown with my mom around about 68. Yeah, 68, 69. I formed this, my fondest memories. I was born in 63. So I'm like 5, 6 years old. Skipping along the way. In my little starch cotton dress. Or the little, they call them knickers then. Come below the paddle pushers. Below the knee. And we call capris now. But, yeah. Some good memories. Yeah. So let me get one of these simple burgers put together. Hold on. Okay. I'm putting my burgers down. They used to put it on an open griddle. I don't want to put the griddle up. I'm going to cover them so they will, because I got them kind of thick. So, let me get some of these burgers done. Hold on. I'm not going to season them just yet. Okay. So now I'm getting ready to turn them over. But I want to season them before I turn them over. I'm going to put some garlic powder on there. See, they didn't have none of this back then. You got salt and pepper. That's it. But I'm going to have to put some flavor on these. This is the new school. Black pepper. And you know my purple top. Everything gets some improvement. Yeah. So I'm going with some seasoning. Same concept. But I gotta have some seasoning on it. So I'm gonna repeat on this side. Black pepper. Onion powder and garlic powder. And just a tad bit of salt. I put a top on this because I want it to cook all the way through. I like a well done burger. Now over here on this griddle side here, I'm going to toast my buns. So I'm getting out some Putting out a little bit of onion, because nobody likes onions but me. And I'm getting some butter out. Here's my buns. I'm going to put some butter on it. They used to have some melted butter that they roll on the buns. Kind of brush, or they would just use the oil from the burgers on it. These are some really fresh buns. They're really soft. Like so. Let's check on the burgers. And we're going to also put some cheese on this. They rarely put cheese on the burgers back then. Just got the good old hamburger. Let's check our buns. Oh yeah. Want that a little more toasty. And you want the same spatula because you want that grease on the back of the bun. Yeah. Some cheese on it. Boom. Here's the back side of the bun. Yeah, you want to toast the back side too. Simple burgers. Let me get the rest of them down. Here's the Mister's Simple Burger. Tomato. He has pickles on his. Cheese. Mustard. And that's it. That's all he likes on his. Yeah. Simple. See how greasy the top of the bun is? Yeah, that's what you want. Hold on. I'm going to show you mine. Hold on. Okay. So, here's my burger. Yeah. So, I'm going to put it together. Tennessee North is not big on lettuce. So, I'm not doing lettuce. And look at my buns. This is the way Tennessee North like her buns. Yeah. I told you before, some may say burnt, I like dark. I like it crunchy. I got a problem with that crunchy stuff. But this is the way I like my buns toasted. I like them dark. I put them on the grill. I make them dark. So, you know. So don't nobody say, you burnt? No, that's the way I like mine. I think if you've seen some of my other videos, this is the way I do mine. I like my stuff dark. I like my fries dark. Crunchy. I don't know. It's a habit. So, before I put this together, let me speak to the Lord about it. Amen. Amen. So, with my burger here, I got some tomatoes, pickles, and some onions. Mustard. I like my mustard on the bottom half. And I like my ketchup on the top half. Like so. Then, I like my tomatoes on the bottom. And I love tomatoes. And then I'm going to put my raw onions on top of that. Yeah, I got a thing for onions too. We know this. Okay. Then on top of that, dill, hamburger pickles. Yeah. I don't care for those sweetness. Then I'm going to top my burger on that. You see how that's sitting? And do you see my bun, how oily it is on top? They wasn't built that high back then, but you see that top? Yeah, that's where you want your top. All my tomatoes, look at that. Burger King, McDonald's, Whataburger. Ooh, Whataburger. You can give it a slight mash. Yeah. Now this right here, it's gonna get messy. I'm gonna put a few chips on here. And do y'all see who's in the... Yeah, it won't be complete. Won't give me that same, vibe, that memory without the Coke. It's definitely not the same recipe of Coke. Coke back then would burn your throat. And we loved every bit of it. So, it's going to be messy, but I'm going to take my glasses off. Do you see that? Yeah. Don't know which way to pipe. Ooh. That was a mouthful. And that's what I'm talking about. The onions, tomatoes, pickles. When you did get cheese on your burger, cheese didn't come out really sliced, they had to slice it. They would put a hunk of cheese on it. The onions, the tomatoes. That's what puts the burger over the top. Oh my goodness. And you was a lettuce fan. You get the lettuce on it. But those burgers back then, you got that greasy bun, that burger, maybe a tomato. That's how they came. It's a greasy cheeseburger or greasy burger. You can get all those lettuce and all those. Think that like that. It might have been just the burger, the cheese, if you got cheese, and the bun, the greasy bun. You put some mustard on there if you like. Hold on. Yeah, it was a no Fritos thing. I don't think it was any tomatoes on it. I think it was just the burger, the cheese if you got it, the toasted bun. And we loved them. The Coke was a 6 ounce. This is a 20. And it was in a bottle. Cokes didn't come in plastic. You shocked? I think that's what made the difference in the taste too. Excuse me. I got a belch out of that. That's when you know it's a good one. Let me attempt to bite this again. See all the stuff about to fall out of it. another thing, I'm going to talk with my mouth full. And what's different about this burger is, I think this right here is 75, 25, 75. Back then, I think it was a 50-50. Juice be running all down your arm. You better lean forward if you got your besties on, because you're going to have grease everywhere. I do remember the onions being on there. The running grease and stuff, that's what made the burger good. That's why the top was so greasy. From the grease popping when they were making it. Yeah, you look forward to that greasy burger. Couldn't wait till the next time we went. For a treat. Yeah. We had a baseball field called Fisher Field. And you used to park all the way around it. It's owned by Austin P now. And the baseball lights would be on. And everybody went to the baseball games. And you parked all the way around it. That's where you saw your friends too. That was like a night out. And they had a little concession stand. And he sold greasy burgers, hot dogs, and that greasy, buttery popcorn. It wasn't no microwave. It was the pot. Yeah. Had a little shack. Oh my goodness. That was the best mess. Yeah. We look forward to that. The one thing I don't remember growing up in the late 60s and the early 70s, I don't recall a lot of prejudice. Now, I know it existed from reading about it. I didn't experience it firsthand, and if I did, I don't remember it as a child. I went to a mixed kindergarten. And when I left kindergarten, I started going to the all-black school. And I don't remember any difference. We love that school. And now it's a community gym now. They knocked the building down and kept some of the bricks. Um, if there was some, and I knew there was some prejudice going on, I don't know if my mom shielded us from it or it just wasn't as prevalent as it is that we didn't notice it. Mm-mm. I mean, we walked where we wanted to walk and went to the movies, and I think in one of the theaters we sat up front, up on the top. And I don't know if we sat up there because we had to or we just like to. My father was one of the first to sit at the lunch counter at Shoney's. He was in the city in the 60s or the late 50s. And he was a teenager. Yeah. They lived out in the country. My mom lived in the city. And they came to town, as they would say, and a bunch of them went and sat at the counter at Shoney's. Yeah. I think that history should be taught. I think that we shouldn't so much dwell on the past, not the bad stuff, but teach it so they can learn from it. Not to make anyone feel bad. Slavery and mistreatment has been going on since way in the Bible. And if you read the Bible, you read about that. When I was coming up, they didn't teach us about that. Mm-mm. They taught us about George Washington Carver and Mary Bethune. And every now and then they taught us about slavery. Not the bad parts, just told us we used to be slaves. That's it. Now, Tennessee North, I'm not a prejudiced woman. My whole family is mixed up. Yeah, we got white, Spanish, you name it. My whole family is mixed up. So I don't care what color your skin. If you do something to me, mistreat me, then I could be prejudiced against you. But I'm not going to take it out on everybody else, because everybody else ain't done nothing to me. So when I look back at time and see the things that have happened, if those things hadn't have happened, we wouldn't be where we are today. But the thing we need to do is learn from the past. Try to make it better. We saw what was done wrong back then. And I mean, we're going back into biblical. We can learn from those mistakes. You can keep yourself enslaved by not trying to improve. See, if we keep dwelling on, woe's me, I was a slave and my people were slaves and they brought us over here. Okay. We can't do anything about that. And we can't punish the people now for what happened then. And vice versa. The ones who teach hatred and been doing it for way back to now, all that stuff got to stop. Because the ignorance of your ancestors you got to pay them for it. Okay, that happened then. We're better than that now. And from here forward, you do better. You know better, you do better. I taught my kids, because I got some biracial kids. We just flowers in God's garden. And he didn't just make a rose, a tulip. He made many species of flowers. They come in all colors, all sizes. But guess what? They're still flowers. Yeah. And if you don't water those flowers with some good stuff, they'll just die. They'll just die. And if you feed them the wrong stuff, feed them ignorance, whole species and race of people die right along with their ignorance. Now, I ain't just talking about the ignorance of whites or Latinos or blacks. I'm talking about us all. The ignorance of us all. And we know the past. Let's try to improve the future. My mother told me probably won't be in her time. The way it's going, it might not be in my time. But I hope at some point it ends. Yeah. If I couldn't sit at a counter and eat with my fellow Americans, I didn't know about it. My mother kept it hid very well. I don't want to keep it hid from my kids, my grands. I want them to learn about it and do something about it. Yeah. Something positive. Now, my time as a child, growing up and going to the little cafes and the all-black school, and I wouldn't take nothing for it. And I wouldn't go back and change a thing. Those were some of my best times, my childhood. Yeah. Yeah. So if you like anything about my video, give me a thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody about Old Tennessee Noah. Hit the notification button so you know the next time I come with a video. Let me know about your fondest memories if you're from my era, the late 60s, early 70s. Yeah. Did you have a 6th Street? Or a little cafe that everybody went to? Yeah. That's where we listen to all those Motown favorites. Yeah. You didn't have to be black to like them. It was a walk down memory lane. Now, I ain't gonna say it wasn't no negatives there when I was coming up, but I just gonna remember the good ones. See you on the next video.